Today, I'll show you how to make no-knead bread with minimal effort that mimics the taste of sourdough, using just 4 ingredients, plus a secret ingredient, vinegar. Ready? First, measure 333 grams bread flour. This amount allows you to make 3 loaves from this 1 kilo bag of flour. To that, add 1.5 grams of instant yeast and 7 grams of sea salt. Mix well. Next, measure 290 ml water. Microwave if needed. Then to it, add 2 grams vinegar. I use malt vinegar, but you can use apple cider vinegar or white vinegar. Pour all the liquid into dry ingredients and use chopsticks or fork to mix till no dry flour remains. At this stage, it is very sticky, and you don't want to mess up with your hands. Scrape the bowl to make it neat. The target dough temperature is 23 to 26 degrees Celsius. Cover with plastic wrap and let it sit at room temperature for 15 minutes. Then prepare a bowl of water, wet your hands and pull one corner of the dough up and into the center. Wet your hand, rotate the bowl, and repeat till all corners are folded in. You'll notice some gluten has developed, though some flour clumps may still remain. This step evens out the dough while keeping your hands cleaner compared to mixing at the beginning. And that's all you need to do for now. Just cover the bowl and let it dough ferment on the counter till it triples in size. My kitchen temperature is below 18 degrees Celsius, so it takes 12 hours. Depending on your kitchen temperature, it could take anywhere from 6 to 16 hours. Once it triples, place the bowl in a refrigerator for another 12 hours or till the dough expands another 20 to 30%. It looks like a bowl of belly fat right now. Firmly pat the bowl several times with your hands to release large and uneven air bubbles. The dough will deflate slightly. If it collapses too much and it sinks quickly, it may be over-fermented. Loosen the sides of the dough, then flip the bowl and let the dough fall onto a well-floured counter. Carefully lift one corner and use hands to gently pull outward. If you see big bubbles like this, just poke it. Repeat with the remaining corners. Now lift one corner and fold it in. Repeat till it looks like a bun. Flip the dough over and shape it round using a scraper. If it gets sticky, dust it with a little flour, but don't overdo it. Use a toothpick to pop in large air bubbles. Shape it into a nice tubule and generously floured surface. For final proofing, we can line a salad bowl with a kitchen towel. Dust it well with a mixture of rice flour and cornstarch. Or use a well-floured Benetton like I do. Lift the dough and place the seam side down into the mold. Pop in remaining large bubbles. Cover with a cloth and leave it in a safe spot in your kitchen to ferment. This process can take 2 to 3 hours. To check if it's ready, gently press the dough with a finger. If it springs back slowly but leaves a small indentation, it's ready to bake. Place a Dutch oven in your home oven and preheat to 250 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. When the time is up, place a sheet of parchment paper on top of the dough and invert it. Remove the Benetton. Now take the Dutch oven out. Remove the lid and carefully place the dough inside. Cover with the lid and return it to the oven to bake for 25 minutes. When the time is up, take it out of the oven. It's an exciting moment. The bread has risen tall and beautifully. At this point, you can simply return the uncovered Dutch oven to the oven, but I prefer transferring the bread onto the baking sheet and continue baking at 220 degrees Celsius for another 25 minutes. Visually, this bread closely resembles sourdough. The seam naturally opens up into squaring, creating beautiful cracks. Let the bread cool for an hour before slicing. Look at the crumb. Not bad, huh? I'm pleased considering this is a thick slice. In terms of taste, this is the closest version to sourdough among all my experiments in the past 14 days. The vinegar really makes a difference. If you want a quicker version, skip the chilling process. Just ferment the dough on a counter till about quadruples. This took me about 13.5 hours. Then shape it and place it in the mold. The final proofing will be shorter than the previous version. It took me 1.5 hours, but always do your finger test. Bake at the same temperatures. Shorten the total baking time by about 5 minutes. When freshly baked, this version is quite similar to the previous one, but the crumb feels slightly lighter and fluffier. It also tastes less sour and has a slightly chewier crust. The main difference between the two versions is that by the next day, the counter-fermented bread feels noticeably drier and even chewier, whereas the cold-fermented bread tastes slightly more sour and overall better. So why vinegar? Vinegar is the key to adding sour taste to yeast bread. The acetic acid also tenderizes gluten and slows down fermentation, which enhances both texture and flavor. You can certainly make the bread without it, but I find it tastes a little yeasty and bland. But don't get me wrong, both are delicious. If you use them for sandwiches, you won't notice much difference. This recipe is developed after baking more than a dozen bread in the past 2 weeks. I hope you'll try making your own bread. That's it for today.